Coach T, what'd you learn out of your guys from week one?
Some resilience, man. I think that to play a team like Omaha, right, and a team that was in the NCAA tournament, had 6 of their 9, top 9 back, to build that lead, to lose it. I think in the past, we maybe would have panicked. And I think that, we have some returners, which I think is one of the things we really fought for in this offseason was to get guys back, right? And that's what that does. I think we just showed some composure and found a way to hold on. We never really trailed except for a couple, maybe a minute or two. But basketball's a game of runs, man. We didn't panic and we held strong. And so really proud of our guys, for their effort and more importantly, their composure.
I mean, seriously, to have a test like that early in the season, literally second game of the week, man, that's remarkable.
Yeah, I just told KP, man, not very smart scheduling, but really proud of the guys.
I mean, that final minute there, everything that went down, not just Braden Hubbard, but everybody on that team. I mean, it was tied at 37, literally second half, 36-34. How would you talk about that final minute?
Yeah, again, returners, right? I think, we came out of a timeout and executed something really well that I don't think it's been years since this early in the year we've been able to execute that well coming out of a timeout to, going to the three-point play, that Braden made. I mean, we executed that play perfectly. Coach Crass, that was his suggestion, not mine. I wish I could take credit for it, but it was absolutely the right play to run at the right time. And those guys came out of the huddle and executed it perfectly. And so you don't usually see that early in the year. And so that's number one. And then two, defensively, to come down and, in those last 2 seconds, we're definitely stealing that action that they ran right there at the end because I thought we were ready to guard, and we were, but it was just a great action they ran, and the guys communicated and switched and at least made a contested shot. So just, like I said, to go through something like that, you can't rep that in practice. And so to get that early in the year and to learn, but learn while winning a game was fantastic.
And, I mean, with the returners and with your amazing assistant coaches, is there better communication, more faith in these guys because of the experience?
Absolutely. I've probably pushed this group harder than we've pushed a group in 10 years here in the offseason. And I think some of that is the maturity, on the roster. But with so many guys back, they've helped coach, right? So when you get returners, they can help coach your new guys. And so having that maturity and that leadership on the roster, just all those guys, especially like Rich Smith, Braden Hubbard, Joseph Van Zant, those upperclassmen that returned, have done such a great job of being coaches on the floor, and helping these guys, the younger guys and the new players, learn, right? And so, and then, of course, my staff is fantastic. We've been together now for a few years. Guys I really trust. I take their suggestions. I don't even hesitate when they suggest something, just like that play we ran for Braden Hubbard. So really, really excited about maybe what this year can bring.
Absolutely. I mean, you can practice as many scenarios as you possibly can in practice. But like you said, sometimes there's just things that you can't do. But second game of the year, why were these guys able to do that in a scenario that you can't practice for?
Yeah, again, just maturity, composure. We had unbelievable composure down the stretch. We had a call not go our way. We had a call go our way, which is the way basketball goes, right? And I think, a year ago we would have panicked maybe a little bit when a call doesn't go our way, and we didn't do that. Turn the page, move on to the next play. And so I think that's going to serve us really well throughout the year because, you play 31 games guaranteed. You're probably not going to win all 31, right? And so how do you respond when things don't go your way, when adversity hits? And so I'm really confident that this team is going to be able to handle that throughout the year.
Is there something in the West Texas air with just the increase in positivity and just all the sports programs around here?
I hope so, and I hope it lasts all the way through 2026, man. But yeah, I think it's great, man. We have a great university, a great area right here. We have great coaches, KP, Julie. We all work together, and we all cheer for each other, and so I think that helps, man. What a fantastic place to be right now is not just West Texas, but Abilene Christian University.
Absolutely. You got anything?
I think so.
Oh, I got one more thing. Yeah. This guy that schedules this, what's up with this road stretch you'll have here coming up?
Well, I did add Doug Carlskin on my staff to help me schedule, so I'm blaming all of this on him. I was blaming him before we played Omaha, in the second game of the year until we won, and then I took credit for scheduling the game. But no, man, the schedule's tough. We got one more home game Tuesday at 3 o'clock. It's an early tip. But it's a weird doubleheader. We play before the women, and so that was to help our opponent out who's traveling and doing some things. And so hopefully we can get some people there early. But then after that, we go on the road, man. We got Tough Test Friday at Stephen F. Austin. We've kind of created a rivalry with them over the years, and obviously a lot of us, there's a lot of connections with the two staffs as well. And so looking forward to that trip. But then at Texas State, at Jacksonville, where we play UTSA and William and Mary, and so it's gonna be a while after tomorrow before we're back. So hopefully we can get as many people there as we can.
Do you still preach the Warrior spirit with your basketball team?
Absolutely. I don't think we'll ever lose the Warrior spirit.
Oh, I love that. Coach, thank you so Coach, the veteran returners you have combined with the new basketball players you have on this roster, what could you say about your group from the first week of this season?
I'm really pleased with the way we played the first week of the season. Obviously, there's so many things that we need to improve on, things that we need to work on, game situations that we need to reiterate. But overall, really, pleased with the first week. I mean, it's so early in the season that, we've got plenty of time to work on what we need to, but really appreciate the leadership of the returners, especially our junior class, and Bree Davis, our senior point guard. They're playing with a lot of poise, a lot of stability when they're out on the court. I think they're really good examples for the new players as well. But I think overall we're pleased. Know that we're nowhere where we need to be or where we want to be, but really, really pleased right now in the early point of our season.
Absolutely. What are some traits that these returners have been able to improve on and give to the younger players?
Oh, that's a great question. I think just the defensive intensity has been new for all the new players, and so our returners, again, are good examples of that. And we have a really good scout team that comes to practice 3 or 4 days a week for us, male scout team. And so I think that our new players see how hard our returners play against the scout team, see how they sit down and really defend, and just being examples on the defensive end has helped a lot. And our players, anytime I put in a new quick hitter, I just call it out and they do it. We don't even have to walk through it. They just know from previous experience. And so it's good to have a group that can hop out there. And we've put nothing in new so far this year that our returners are not aware of. And so they just do a good job of, I think, just being examples. I would like for our starters to talk more, to be more vocal leaders, both on the court, on the bench, during practice. But as far as just getting things done, running drills, defensive concepts, they're really good examples.
The increase of the knowledge of the same system, how big of an advantage has that been, not only just to see them be able to run that better, but they already know what improvements they need to make, and it seems like these guys will make those improvements a lot faster.
Well, in early November, definitely we are so much further ahead than we were the last 2 seasons because our main players now are juniors, and we were counting on them as freshmen, as sophomores, and now as juniors. It's just really fun to see the confidence that they have in what they're doing, based on experience, based on crucial playing time that they've gotten the last 2 years. So our team's been a little bit young the last couple of seasons, and I think it's cost us a few games, just, not having experience. So this year, having the big junior class that we have, having all the experience, hopefully will help us in a lot of different ways. But it has been really nice just to be able to draw from their game experience. They've, just played so many valuable minutes for us already.
The recruiting from this staff, a big country overall, too. I mean, I was at Gym Ned this morning, so I want to talk about Riley here for a quick second. She comes off the bench in the very first game against Howard Payne. Not even a minute in. 3-pointer, steal, hits it out for another assist. I mean, what is it? These players that you're able to recruit here, I mean, not just local talent, but how they're just able to fit right in. What do you look for that's able to happen?
Well, I mean, I'm not an expert on Gym Ned Lady Indian basketball, but I would say that Riley Groman will go down as one of the best Lady Indians to ever play there. And she just was given leadership roles even as a freshman. She was the point guard her whole career there. And the one thing that you learn from being a Gym Ned Lady Indian is you learn how to win, and you learn how to play aggressive on the defensive end. You learn how to share the basketball. And so Riley brings all of those intangibles, those assets to us. She was coached by a phenomenal Hall of Famer, Hunter Cooley, who's actually in the ACU Hall of Fame. And Riley's very coachable, and we really appreciate that. Sometimes you get freshmen or you get players in who are the star at their previous school, and then they come in and don't really seem like they value being coached, and they don't really value, trying to make little improvements. And Riley has been extremely coachable. I think deep down she's kind of hard on herself, but she doesn't show that. She doesn't let that hold her back at all, but I think she really wants to be good. I think she wants to do exactly what we're asking her to do. And I was really impressed with her as well. She just comes in off the bench, hits the three. She made the first 3-pointer for our program this season. And really, big deal for us. She was our first sub and the first person hit a 3, and so that was a big deal. Every time she shoots a 3, I think it's going in. I was really surprised in our last game against Incarnate Word that she didn't hit, quite a few threes. She had some great looks, but just textbook form. She's putting in the work on her own as well, and so she has the skill set that really fits into our style of play. She's going to have a tremendous freshman year.
I mean, and when you have Peyton Hull and Meredith Mays and Emma Troxel and Natalia Chavez and all of these great people here, I mean, usually it takes a little bit to determine what the identity of a basketball team is. I know it's just the first week, but what are some things you've seen that are building towards this identity this season?
Our first 2 games we won in different ways, obviously 2 different opponents. I do feel like this is a team that can be very versatile in the way that they experience success. I don't think it's going to rely solely on our defense or rely solely on our 3-point shooting or rely solely on pound the ball into the post players. I think it's going to be a team that, there's quite a bit of versatility in how we're going to be able to win this year. I don't think that we're even close to figuring out who we can be after the first 2 games of the season. Both games went tremendously different. One, we shot the ball well. One, we didn't shoot the ball well. One of them, we had significant players in foul trouble. But, both, we got the outcome that we wanted. And so I think that we're going to see us win in a variety of ways, which is really, really good.
Is there something in the West Texas air around here when it comes to the athletics around ACU?
I think it starts with the support that we get from Dr. Phil Schubert, from our president, from the board. I mean, it trickles down to the coaches, to the athletes. We all know how much the university is cheering us on, and they have our back, and we know that we have the support of Abilene Christian. We're wearing that name on the front of our jerseys, and we're really proud to be the ACU women's basketball team. And I think if you ask the other programs, they would tell you that as well. They love representing ACU. We feel like ACU really supports athletics, and they're doing everything they can to help us be successful. And so there's a lot of pride in being an ACU athlete.
Coach Goodenough, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
your time.
One question I had is just, you've talked before, there's a lot of return matchups this season, other ends of home and homes that maybe you had last year. How can maybe meeting those teams last year, regardless of how the game went, maybe be an advantage going into it this season? I know some teams look a lot different than others, but how can you kind of use those games to build on this season?
Yeah, if there's a good number of returners, if the staff is the same, then we do refer back on last year. This is what we did that was successful. This is something we did against this team that didn't go so well. And because we do have such a good group of returners, they remember, they remember the players, they remember the style of play. And so I think it does give you a little bit of an advantage. It's funny, the first 2 games that we've played, brand new coaching staffs, so many new players that, we talked about, we played them last year, but, we had to completely change our keys to the game and kind of philosophy because of all the change.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.